Golgotha Depths. We're going to be watching Piano playing as the Farseer here on this lane, fighting over mostly this contested power. Aversa Assassin going to be opposing his Eldar here. And then we've got Jones helping out Piano. Bit of a strange combination here, Tyrannids and Eldar. Going to be facing off against Eldar, so an Eldar on each side here. Very annoying here for Jones, and yeah, he just instantly retreats. He'd be bleeding quite a lot if he tried to cap that, especially because the Destructor would soften up the Termagants a lot and then help the Warlock's rather pitiful default range attacks bleed the Termers. So yeah, with a heavy cover there, you can't really shoot them. Certainly not without upgrades and Synapse. It's just not worth it. You would be able to get rid of him eventually, but you'd bleed a lot, so Jones is just going to go elsewhere through the mid. And Strike Squad's extending a little bit far forward there. They're going to just go back and go into the garrison. They don't want to fight Banshees and Farseer in melee. Kinda would like to see the fight with Aversa Assassin actually, plus Strike Squad versus Farseer and Banshees. I don't know who'd win that. Probably just going to come down to specials. But this EA is in a very bad position right now. Yeah, isolated. Good pairing by the blue players there. Coming together at just the right time. Get rid of that hero. And a fast crippling poison. There it goes. Redirects his fire to attack the Banshees, but Hive Tyrant was a little slow in getting into combat there, but okay. Banshees are just going to retreat. They know the Termagants could just take the garrison, so I guess they don't want to risk bleeding, but it's a lost engagement. I think Dingus could have won that if he committed, but whether or not it'd be worth winning it, I'm not sure. There's not too much to get a hold of here. Obviously the VP drain would be nice, because we've actually got quite a lot of VP drain. We've seen Piano pushing up with the Banshees there, decap the natural on this side, and that could be quite important in this matchup. This map in particular, it's quite weird, quite unique, and it's kind of why I like the 2v2 maps. They all play out a very different way. The fact that you've only got the one natural gen farm for the red team here and the one natural gen farm for the blue team, it kind of makes teching slower compared to normal. And that's why the incentive to fight over the sidelines is to get control of these contested power points. Psychic Stream already, wow. Jones going for a lot of upgrades quite early, which surprises me. Because you're going to get shut down on the sides by a Shuriken so easily. I'd have expected Raveners. Get the upgrades after, but we'll see how he does. Okay, this is weird. Double operatives. Interesting. So they run into melee. The Aversa and the Strike Squad turn around to fight the Banshees in melee. Good special attack there from the Banshees, and yeah, that's going to be the end of that. Of course, these Banshees are buffed by Guide there. You've seen the yellow buff circles. So 30% more damage. Flanking double Termers as well. They're not enjoying. The operatives did quite well in melee, actually. I didn't realise they were that good in melee. A lot of damage there to the Shuriken. No Guardians to protect them.
Our forces shall have tools carrying support structure.
And Ranger's coming out now. Makes sense. He needs some detection to deal with these operatives. I mean, double IST, double operatives. Quite an unusual build.
An ally has gained control of a victory point.
I mean, he could really double down on the range damage if he gets the Neurotoxin pistol as well, but we'll see. Yeah, the observer there noting the size of the OM build, and what's really interesting is that you've got to remember this is a low power map, so to get these kind of tier 1.5 units, I mean, he doesn't have any upgrades yet though. No Sergeant, no Tome of Titan, no War Gear, maybe that's why. Just spending the power on these guys is sufficient. He doesn't have the upgrade for the operatives though. I think you can see that. I'm not sure, but I think it should show here if he does have it. So I guess he's not spent that much. Who built the gens? Yeah, Dingus got all the gens basically, because Dingus only went for 2 starting squads, so it makes sense. So Dingus got the node and 2 gens, whereas the Aversa only got 1 gen. And that's why the Aversa was able to field so much requisition worth of units. And it's pretty bad actually that Jones isn't able to take this node, given that Dingus was the one who put on very little early game pressure. Because Dingus only went for 2 starting squads, but now Dingus has triple shurikens, which, without even a single warrior, Jones is going to struggle with tremendously. I don't know... Not warrior, sorry, Ravener. And yeah, Typhus is commenting on the massive amount of wreck float, which I just noticed as well. It could be a wipe for the operatives. Yep. I mean, you've got the neurotoxin pistol coming out there. You had an incendiary grenade drop down as well. Are they going to wipe the other operatives? Oh, wow. These are getting really low. Can the Farseer kill him? She's going to take 2 hits. Yeah, I don't think she can get the other one. Shame. Damn, that's a lot of bleed for the Aversa Assassin. Man. His economy not looking great, but that's good for the blue team. They can now secure this gen farm. And that is what they're going to do, so they stay in this tech race. Because the red team have had this one for a long time right now. Yeah, he went for the charge. But there's another shuriken in the back. He's trying to push through to it. He will get it, but then there's a garrison. And the shuriken just takes the garrison. No spawn mines nearby. No Bab Strangler. Can't deal with the garrison. It is a bit of a nightmare, but if you get the Raveners, you burrow behind them, knock them forward. If they try to run through to the garrison, you kill them with your melee. He's fighting triple shurikens without a single Ravener. Of course he's going to have trouble pushing headfirst into them. Charge war gear or not. So, pretty bad idea for Jones. He is letting the red team accumulate a tremendous amount of power. They would have been way further ahead otherwise. It's not like Raveners are that expensive on the power either. It's mostly Rex, so... We'll see. I mean, Tyranids have quite a requisition heavy tier 2, so he could make a good comeback here. He could go for double zone throw, which would be pretty effective actually. Farseer just gets wrecked in the middle. Knocked over, I guess, by the Banshee special. Yeah. Piano, what the fucking? I guess he wanted to retreat and got knocked over and it cancelled the retreat. I'm not sure. But yeah, not a terrible position in order to revive. Just default ranges in the end, just the pistols, no long rifles. So very cheap, mostly for detection. Yeah. I mean, it fits his economy very well since Zomthrops are only 40 power and he's fighting triple shurikens. It's kind of no-brainer, you know what I mean? And then he's a Hive Tyrant as well, so that can punish anything that tries to go into melee. You can go for the Crushing Claws, Bonded Exoskeleton, Psychic Scream. Punish those melee things. Or he could wait. You could just get the Venom Cannon combined with the Charging Carapace and 2 Focus Warp Blasts will be actually very good against vehicles for AV. And then you just start pumping out Tyrant Guards. Let's see what the Zomthrop does to something in the building. I don't think it'll do too much. Good amount of chip onto the Guardians there, but the Banshees are charging in. Disrupted easily there by the Hive Tyrant. However, nothing is shutting down this Shuriken. Yeah, and it doesn't take a lot of damage while it's in the garrison, unfortunately. You need Spore Mines. It's going to take forever. Oh, beautiful grenade. Hormagaunts get out of there. Kind of surprised the Banshees retreated when they did. Oh, the Hive Tyrant did pick up the Crushing Claws. Yeah, so he's a bit of a threat right now. Operatives coming out of nowhere. And of course, the Hive Tyrant rotating over that side means that there's no revive yet for the Farseer. We did see an Autark called in. I'm not sure what that was called in for. If it achieved anything with that jump. The Versa Assassin somehow has accumulated enough resources to get Grey Knight Dreadnought, so that is quite something. And Dingus is just going to be going tier 3. Happy to defend with his triple shurikens. Okay, Hive Tyrant needs to be careful right now. He's neurotoxined and he's got Justicar upgraded Strike Squad on him. He does have a tremendous amount of HP with this upgrade and debuff the damage to these units. So he's fine. Oh, long rifles now. That was a really good kinetic pulse there, knocking over all 3 of those units. And then synergizing well with the zone throps, which are quite bad at hitting moving targets, but the double zone throp here should do good damage. Decent damage against Banshees. Remember that they take less damage from ranged attacks when they're in melee, and if they use Fleet of Foot, they'd also take 50% less as well, though that is multiplicative. But it gets rid of them. Yeah, going to be a Tyrant Guard for Jones. I love the combination of the Crushing Claw Hive Tyrant with the Tyrant Guard. I mean, you can beat other walkers in melee with those two. Now, this is some heavy commitment from the Inferno Cannon Dreadnought. It does get the 20% melee resist, but it's getting chopped by the heavy melee right now. It's getting chip damage taken off of it by the Focus Warp Blast, one of which has still yet to come in. There it goes. Crushing Claws walking over. Of course, the Bright Lance can reset up, so the Dreadnought's rotating to the right in order to get out of line of sight of that Bright Lance, and it does upgrade to the Dreadnought Claw in order to stun those Banshees with the Fist. Fist of the Emperor. But this is not a good situation. If only there was a Farseer, that thing could have been guided, but the Farseer's still dead. Oh, good grenade. Yikes. Decent amount of bleed there. The Versa and Strike Squad coming in. Saved the Bright Lance there with that kinetic pulse. That would definitely have been a kill. Hive Tyrant needs to just turn around and kill these Banshees. Debuff by the Psychic Scream makes them a lot less of a threat. And this Autarch only has a silly little slappy sword, not the Executioner Spear, so she is absolutely getting wrecked right now by the Hive Tyrant. Gonna go down! Ho ho! Just devoured. Dingus getting that whilst going tier 3, so they had a bit more of a presence, but damn, just absolutely rinsed. VPs have normalized themselves. Yeah, he must have cancelled it to get the Autarch, which obviously didn't work out very well for him. Should have just kept it going.
We have 300 points remaining.
So the Grey Knight Dreadnought did survive. Unfortunately, it's at the wrong place right now. So IST are having to rotate over. And by the wrong place, I mean the Allied base, where there's only one repair unit, the Guardians, versus the 2 IST. But it's going to mean that the map presence here from the Aversa Assassin is not great. And to be honest, Aversa Assassin right now is not doing very well. That's a tremendous amount of bleed right here, losing 2 strike models and the Justicar. I'm not convinced about these operatives either. They don't seem to have done too much. And now he's got to contend with a Wraith Lord, which is going to be a bit tricky. He's got no real transitional AV. He's got the Melter Bomb on this guy, but no hard AV. So he might be relying on his teammate for that. Of course, the Grey Knight Dreadnought will do fine in melee against the Wraith Lord, but still out of action for a good bit. Heavy melee Seers might be good. What's the Autarch doing here, awaiting the allied Banshees? It's a nice incendiary grenade. Unfortunately, you know, we're now getting later in the game here. Units are getting leveled up, and you can see there the AoE regen as well from being near the zone throps. Just mitigating that AoE damage from the incendiary grenade beautifully. Really negating it.
Send for the warlock to lead our guardian.
Quite a bit of upgrades here. To have the Acolyte and... that was a little early on the Fanaticism. So an Acolyte and a Sergeant on the IST. I mean, this is going to be putting a bit of a strain on his requisition situation from the higher upkeep. It looks like not Hollowfield, Focus Shadows. Set up a nice ambush here. Let's see what can be made of it. Even an infiltrated Dreadnought right now popping out. But there is... was there a Bright Lance? Nope. Oh, was it on this? Oh, it was on the Wraith Lord, the Bright Lance. Okay. But what AV is there for the red team right now to take down the Wraith Lord? Not really much, right? No, there's no Bright Lance. There's only Shurikens. So they're chipping away at it. Oh, but hang on. Have the Seers? No, they haven't got their heavy melee blades yet. But oh my god, they're going to wreck this Tyrant Guardian. He's going to shield wall ASAP. What's he doing? Oh, he's going to charge away. Eldar are very fast with a fleet of foot, and one of these Shurikens has now upgraded to a Bright Lance. This is a very bad spot for the Wraith Lord Piano. Only just noticing now a little bit late Another shot goes in. Oh, there. Oh, it's dead. It's so dead. It is so dead. Wraithlord goes down. Piano is stuck in tier 2 and the Eldar is tier 3 with Sacred Council. Looking like a good situation there for the Eldar. A good amount of XP from that first engagement with the Sacred Council. Okay. Jones has kept his economy going pretty strong because he's had such a light build. So he is now tier 3 with, God, a fucking crazy amount of resources. Gonna go for a Carnifex.
We are losing our power
Maybe,
against the enemy.
I mean, with this much resources, I really think you just wait for a Swarm Lord. Get a load of Rippers. Right? Surely. Surely you would. I guess what he's going for is a Carnifex, maybe into a Lictor. Maybe a Neurothrope to try and deal with the Sacred Council. It would CC the Sacred Council, but it wouldn't do crazy damage to them. It'd be okay. Percentage based damage is good against the Seers since they have such high HP. We'll have to see. A lot of damage coming in here on the Dreadnought. The Walker's not really performing very well this game, I don't think. Too much damage potential. Now we see channeling runes. Pretty interesting to get that so late. But it, yeah, works quite well. Support Warlock. Nice to see. I suppose it's good for healing up the Sacred Council in between engagements as well. Not just the Banshees. But Banshees, speaking of them, under a lot of pressure there, losing all the models but the Exarch. But they do make it out. This Bright Lance in a very weird position. Dingus not realising that they've moved forward and are about to die. Dead. Yikes. Well, Strangle Effects is an interesting choice. I didn't realise he was going to go for that. Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. It's very good on this map because of all the shot blockers that it can fire over, and it controls the Sacred Council. Though, if they did get the... Okay. If they got the melee upgrade, that would be very scary because this thing has no melee resist. Tyrant Guard is going to have to charge out again. It's getting ripped to pieces by the bottom of Razorback right now. You can see the Carnifex is trying to get up there to shoot it with a Barbed Strangler, but I'm not sure how effective that's going to be. The Autarch, meanwhile, is purchasing her fusion gun, attempting to kill the Dreadnought, but man, the focus fire from flipping Vortimer. Yeah, she just dies. Oh, man. You've got to respect the Vortimer. The sheer single target DPS on this thing is incredible. I don't know why the Tyrant Guard is charging into base. What is going on right now? This is so dumb. Why was he doing that? Very strange. So really, really thinned out rosters for the blue team, but at the same time, Dingus needs to repair a Dreadnought and the Vortimer. It does have 2 repair units, so it's not the end of it, but... we'll see. Now here comes the heavy melee. Aversa Assassin, one of the best things about this guy, that he can get Melter Bombs as an accessory. And there goes the Operative's Melter Bomb, but beautiful grab blade there. Really catching all the relevant models. Banshees have got to get out of there. It's nice to have the grab blade and then turn around and suppress them whilst they're pinned in place with the Carnifex Barbed Strangler. And bang, takes out the Banshees. Ooh, that could be a turning point. Losing the Banshees there is a big deal for Dingus. But yeah, I didn't realise, wow, the VPs are incredibly low for the blue team. Less than 50 at this point? Guardians are running around just with a Warlock. I do have to wonder if fully reinforcing the Strike Squad at this point is even worth it as well. But we'll see. I probably wouldn't have bothered and just saved up for Terminators and used like 1 or 2 models to cap with the Strike Squad. Not noticed the webway gate here from the red team. Web team. From the web team.
Our allied soldiers die where they stand.
I wonder what Dingus is going for. He obviously doesn't know. Yeah. You might as well just get the Avatar if you've got the resources for it. Why not? They've got the time with 240 VPs. Don't think it's a bad idea. They're good against the shears. I like shears. I combined the names there. The shears and the seers. Deter them with your 2 AoE damage abilities. Oh, is that Warlock dead again? Yeah, I think so. Definitely now. Bit of a slow retreat there, Dingus. He might have actually got out. Here we go. All the units coming out of the webway. Carney train. There's only 2 Carnies. Venom and Barb Strangler. So the Venom Cannon can't affect, of course. Purchased in order to counter the Vortimer here, but gotta be careful. Oh, this thing's so dead. Why did the Shuriken come out? What the fuck? How is it not dead? Eh? What are the Seers doing? How can they not kill the Warlock? What? Yeah, this isn't a bad shout by Typhus. Getting the heal upgrade on the Zone Throat would make a lot of sense, and he is, because this Carnifex then can get regened on the field a lot faster. So you can see that the Zone Throat does increase the natural regen of the Carnifex, but it's still quite slow. It's slower than repair. But you can get a nice on-demand heal with Symbiosis. There we go. Did it tell me what the heal is? Oh, heals up to 25% of their max health over 10 seconds. Nice. Yeah, good, good. So you can keep the Carnifex nice and healed with that. This is why Zone Throat scale pretty damn good in team games. There's a Beamer though. Nice high ground position for the Beamer alongside the Vortimer, and having the Venom Cannon Carnifex at the front is not ideal, but wow, look at the chunk damage from the Focus Warp Blast. Beautiful. That's why Zone Throats are capped to 2. Imagine if you could get like 4 of them, just spam those fuckers in a 3v3. You're just going to be killing tanks from the backline. There's really no counterplay. But it's all kicking off now with Tyranno formation and an absolutely massive Wrath of Cain there disrupting the Banshees of Piano. The Venom Cannon does go down, but I guess it did its job because it killed the Vortimer. So now it's up to a Versa Assassin to replace that Vortimer. And right now you've got a 0 melee resist Carnifex in melee with an Avatar. Bad situation for that Carnifex. But the beautiful Hive Tyrant picks up the Bonded Exoskeleton to get that invulnerability and just sits on the VP in the middle. But yeah, they're calling it. I mean, Piano only has the Seer Council at this point. And he's facing off against Seers and an Avatar. It's going to be a long time for an Avatar from him. Dingus has an amazing economy, could start pumping out whatever he wants, really. Layer up a load of setup teams. Get some Fire Prisms on the back line. Drop an Autark to harass the natural. And I'm not sure about... Well, he's going to... Yeah, the EA is going to be able to get Vortimer soon. There's no VPs. Forgot about the VPs. Yeah, they had, like, no VPs. Yeah. It's tough when you're so far behind on VPs. There's not a lot you can do. You feel very pressured, and you are very pressured to get a load of units and attack, but then it's quite easy for the opponents to just play defense, and you fall into their traps and get wrecked. Jones's build was nice in the end, but it did set the blue team back so much in the early game, I'm not sure it was worth it. Ultimately, it seemed that throughout most of that game, the red team's economy was dominant. And I think Dingus played it amazingly. I mean, he basically skipped tier 2. He only got the Autark in the end, which he completely threw, but it didn't matter. He was locking down Jones really effectively, even when Jones got the double Zone Throats, just using triple Shurikens, and I didn't even see an energy shield. If you put a Shuriken behind an energy shield, it takes the Zone Throat like 20 shots to destroy the energy shield. So it's kind of why the Zone Throats are not that good, actually, against Eldar. And that meant he got to tier 3 really early, and, more importantly, he locked down this entire portion of the map and kept the generators there for most of the early game, which is when the power matters. As you can see here, Piano at this point, by the end, 257 power, and these guys are getting pretty ridiculous. They're getting super powered levels of power, even though they've already put out super units, so you mostly need the power in the early game. and Jones kind of sacrificed it for his build. I think to not get Raveners and to let your opponent lock this down with triple shurikens is pretty unacceptable unless you're able to hold it as soon as you get tier 2 pretty much forever, and he wasn't able to do that with the zone throbs, so fell behind. But there you go, folks. Oh, the other thing I wanted to comment on, the operatives. Do we think they were worth it? I guess the Melter Bomb was handy in the late game, but then again, you do have the Melter Bomb and the Aversa Assassin. I think their combat prowess was pretty underwhelming. I still don't know how I feel about this unit. They're so contentious. Some people say they balance well. Some people say they suck. I just don't know. Tell me what you think about the Inquisitorial Operatives in the comments down below. Personally, when I'm facing Operatives instead of Interceptors, I'm generally a pretty happy guy. But that's going to be all from your boy Torpid this time. I am signing out.